Garage 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, it's time for the summer break. You guys know after round 12 of the F1 season, it is always a summer break. So for my summer break, we're going to jump into some of the vintage F1 cars and just indulge a little bit into some of these fantastic old cars. We're just going to listen to the beautiful exhaust notes and just completely enjoy ourselves. So guys, please sit back, relax, and just enjoy a little bit of a break from the career mode, the stressful and action-packed career mode.
Welcome to today's invitational event, where some of the world's finest drivers will be treating us to a special exhibition of some of the sport's most iconic cars.
So guys, please, before you do anything, please go below and drop a like for all these iconic cars and for all these iconic exhaust notes. Guys, for today's video, we're not going to talk too much about what's going on screen. I'm just going to sit back actually and talk about a few stuff that I feel needs to be talked about with the F1 game, and I'm just going to indulge a bit. But for now, let's just enjoy this 2008 championship winning McLaren of Lewis Hamilton. The first run didn't go to plan, as you guys will see in a second. Yeah, we kind of lost it and put it in the barrier. So yeah, not the best way to start, but that's why you have a restart button, and that's why it's a game. So yeah, guys, I'm just gonna keep shut for a quick second. Listen to this beautiful V8 F1 car. That is music to my ears. Guys, 2008 was just an epic year. I mean, oh, these cars. Guys, my personal favorites of all time is definitely got to be the V10s. That stretched from 1995 to 2005, a full 10 years. The V8s came in from 2006 to 2013, and then we are currently in the V6 hybrid era. But guys, there is nothing like an old F1 scream. If you're a true F1 and motorsport enthusiast, this sound to you is just majestic. Guys, like the V10s were still at a stage where I was very, very young. My birth date is 17th of September 1999. So I was in the hype of the V10 era, and I can remember sitting on the couch with my dad, 3-4 years old, and sometimes just closing my eyes and listening to those beautiful cars. That was just amazing. And okay, yeah, that's a barrier. Once again, rest in peace headphone users for me screaming a lot. But Lewis Hamilton will not love me at this stage because I just crashed his priceless 2008 championship winning McLaren, but it's okay. Guys, remember to follow me on all my social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, are popping up on the screen right now. Furthermore, guys, also, like I said, my favorite engines were the V10s. The V8s are definitely second. And the recent V6s have started catching up with iconic F1 sounds. They scream a lot more, but still, they will never be able to go to where the V8s and the V10s were. I mean, guys, some of the V10 engines revved up to 20,000 RPM. That is beyond my mind. I don't know how those engines managed. I don't know how they held even one race. And some of those engines held 4, 5, some of them even 6 races. So, to the engineers of that stage, hashtag props to you guys. I take my hat off and dip out of respect. That was just awesome. Now guys, for today, like I said, we're just doing invitational events. It's just, you guys know I don't do them in career mode. In career, they are quite useless. They don't really have an effect on your rivalry with your rival. So I decided for this summer break video, let's just enjoy it. Let's just take some of these vintage cars out and thrash them around. drive them to the max we possibly can with just like 10 minutes each. But yeah, first of all, this McLaren, it drives fantastically. Even being on semi-slick tires, I think if in 2008 you were able to put full slicks on this tire, on this car, it would have flown. But still, this car's not slow by any means, so I enjoyed every second of this. I think I can fall asleep with this soundtrack in the background. It is just amazing. I love the sound. If you're, guys, I'm honest, if you're not a proper F1 fan, you will not love this. But because most people think this is one of the ugliest noises ever, it's one of the most irritating, but I think this is just absolute beauty at its best. Now, guys, stuff I want to talk about F1 2019. I'm going to do a little bit of a review actually. So just sit back, relax, enjoy what's going on on the screen, and let me just talk a little bit about what I feel F1 2019 and Codemasters have done thus far with the game. Now, guys, I haven't played through a full career mode season, but like you guys know by this time, I'm F1 crazy, and I follow a lot of other F1 YouTubers who have done 2-3 seasons, so I've seen what they've seen, and with me playing the game, there is stuff even in my career mode and even in the game just in general that I feel still can be fixed. But where other YouTubers start off by talking about the positive and then just ending of the video in a pure negative, I'm going to start off with the negatives and end in the positives. Now, let's start with the first thing negative about the thing I play the least amount, and that's multiplayer. Guys, first of all, multiplayer this year, yeah, there's only one thing I really got a problem with, is that in ranked lobbies, just that there needs to be a better way to I would almost say, get rid of all the I wouldn't say noobs, but the irritating guys, the guys that ram you off the track on purposely, the guys that are just there to make your race an absolute atrocity. Now, first of all, I think the Codemasters need to work on the ghosting system. Nothing bad compared to last year's multiplayer. F1 2018 was absolutely pathetic when it came to multiplayer, hence being one of the reasons I almost never played it. First of all, the ghosting system in this year's game is much better, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done and a lot of places where there can be improvement. For instance, let's take one thing that happened to me at Hockenheim. You guys know the Hockenheim backstraight, the one that consistently twists until you get to the very tight hairpin? That's a heavy braking zone. If somebody just doesn't brake at all and rams you from behind, I think there's some sort of coding that Codemasters can make for actually coding that the guy that's behind you actually ghosts and just drives straight through you and hits the wall and his session is over. Because if by those guys ramming you off track and just absolutely making your online experience not fun at all, that's something that's a big problem to me. But that's basically all I can say about multiplayer, because I don't play it as much as other people. So yeah, I'm more of a general career mode guy. Now, secondly, one thing that has gotten a lot of hate from the F1 community that I feel is really wrong is the stuff we are playing with right now called the vintage F1 cars. Now, I realize these cars have been in the game since F1 2017. I personally feel these cars are absolutely epic towards the game. What problems that there are with these cars? Now, you guys know that the cars get dealt up into 3 groups. Now, obviously, as the cars get older, they get slower. So, for instance, the top group, the C3 group, which is all the cars from the 2003 BMW Williams to the latest 2010 Red Bull, McLaren, and Ferrari. Now, first of all, those 3, the 2010 cars, the McLaren, the Ferrari, and the Red Bull, the 2009 Braun GP F1 car, and the Ferrari F2004 are the most OP stuff in the vintage cars list. They are immensely OP. The other cars, like for instance this 2006 Renault R26, the 2003 Williams, they are the second best cars. And then you get from the 2007 Ferrari and the 2008 McLaren, and they are just absolutely nowhere. They are the back markers of that group. Now, they are just, guys, the lap times sometimes differ, not even like tenths, it differs in seconds, which to me is a little bit bad. So, while I think the vintage F1 cars are an excellent thing to have on the F1 game, I feel there has to be a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more variety when it gets to the vintage F1 cars. I realized in this year's game that F2 cars have been added, and that to me is absolutely brilliant. But I feel like instead of putting all these vintage F1 cars in, take some of the most iconic cars from their time. Let's just go off of our head. Let's say for the 70s, take the cars from the 1976 F1 season with Niki Lauda and James Hunt, the McLaren, the Ferrari, and all the cars in that season, and throw them in as the C1 group. For C2, let's go to the 90s. Let's take the entire grid from the 1996 season. The Williams, the McLaren, the Ferrari, a very close season, which I have watched actually and have just completely lost myself with it being such a good season. Go to the C1 cars. Don't start off with the 2010 cars. Let's start off with, say, the 2005, the last year of the V10s, where Fernando Alonso's Renault and Michael Schumacher's Ferrari were in a heated championship battle. Just add in that entire grid. Because I feel if the cars are more close together, first of all, the vintage cars are going to get played much more, not just online, but out of just a normality. And they're going to be much more enjoyable because you're not just going to jump into the fastest car of a group and just cream everybody. It's a little bit dumb to me that you have to put all the same cars on the same grid on the current game. Let's say everybody drives the 2003 BMW Williams, and then you're going to have a close race. That to me is a bit boring. If there's somebody like myself who in 2003 loved the BMW Williams, but then I've got my friend who loved, say, for instance, the Toro Rossos or the Saubers of that year, let them be able to drive them, but that they still are on the similar pace than the car I'm driving. That's my opinion about the vintage cars, the negative about them, and how Codemasters, in my opinion, can fix them. Now, talking about the negatives of career mode. First of all, the thing that bothers me the most, that is not just present in my career mode, that's present in a lot of people's career modes, not just YouTubers, people that I talk with who also play the F1 game. Where the hell is the safety car? Guys, I don't think in my career I've even had a full course safety car yet. I don't think I've had. And I know Tiamat Marduk, Benjamin Daly, for those of you that don't know him, at this stage, off of my knowledge, I know he's the biggest F1 YouTuber on YouTube at this stage. He's very close to 400,000 subscribers. Hashtag, if Ben ever sees this video, hashtag lots of love, dude. Love your channel, and I've watched your channel for many, many years. Props to you, bro. You really are a big inspiration to my side. Guys, he is in season 3 now, where I'm watching his YouTube videos, and he hasn't had a single safety car in his entire career mode. He has had a virtual safety car, I think, once or twice, but no full safety car. Where's the safety car? The safety car needs to be coded more because, guys, you can have a massive crash. For even Monaco, the track where safety cars are almost freaking guaranteed. You can have a turn 1 pile up with 6 cars and there will not be a safety car. I've literally had a situation like that in the normal Grand Prix mode, not even career mode, and the safety car is not there. In career mode, it's a bigger problem because sometimes there are hefty crashes. You guys have even seen in my videos, there has been more than enough situations where the safety car can be deployed and it just never shows up. I want the safety car to be more viable in career mode. Now, I don't say the safety car needs to come out every Grand Prix. Obviously, the modern cars and the modern drivers are the top class. There isn't always going to be a crash. There isn't always going to be a scenario where the safety car has to come out. But if there's a crash between 2 drivers or there's debris on the track, get the safety car out there, even if it's just for 1 lap, just to bunch up the grid, to swap the strategies around a bit, and just to make the race a little bit more indulging, if I can put it in that perspective. Because at this stage, no safety car, some races are just so boring. For instance, guys, you guys have not seen it yet, but my Italian Grand Prix could have been so much better if I think about just the safety car when somebody retired. Because there was a retirement on the main straight and there was no safety car. And it could have been just so much better if the safety car had come out, the grid would have been bunched up, and the race, the perspective of the race would have been completely new. So, that's one thing that I feel needs to be fixed in career mode, the safety cars. Second of all, the driver transfers are the best thing that has happened to career mode, I think, in the last few years. So there's nothing to complain about that. Second of all, OPAI in the rain. Okay, guys, first of all, I know I use it a lot of times as leverage, but I am a pad user. Pads, it's sometimes, especially with conditions, it's very hard to get traction off with the cars. Now you've got tracks like Le Castellet, France, and Interlagos in Brazil, where the AI are already semi-OP. France, they are completely OP. Now, you put yourself in career mode in a car that's not a top car, and you let it rain. You don't have a chance in this world to have a good race. The AI, before the 1.05 patch, the AI were underpowered in the rain. I don't know what Codemasters thought, but now the AI are so OP in the rain. You guys know my my F2 2018 season where I drove my sprint race in France. I couldn't catch up to 6th place. I ended the race in 6th after retirement, but most of the race I was fighting for P7 and P8 with one of the Chare's cars. And the race was so boring because that was all that happened. It was just constantly me fighting and me not being able to get away from the drivers behind me and try and actually challenge the drivers in front of me. That was so frustrating. So that's one thing that I feel is really needs to be there. Needs to be a balance needs to be found. Because before the 1.05 patch, AI were completely atrocious in the rain. After the 1.05 patch, the AI were OP in the rain. They are now so OP at certain tracks that if it's a wet race, I want to simulate the session. That's how bad I feel in the rain. And guys, you guys know about my F1 2018 videos. I am not that bad in the rain. I'm not good, but I'm decent. And for me being a decent player now, being completely thrashed in the rain, it takes the fun out of it. Now, secondly, okay, no, that was actually the second point. Third point. Oh my word, Claire. She is the biggest fan of Devin Butler and Lucas Weber. Now, I understand. The new thing for the game, there was a story mode implemented in the beginning of the game, which I feel gets too much hate. Guys, Codemasters have tried something new and they haven't gone overboard for if it was going to be a flop. In my opinion, the story mode was a complete hammer on the nail. It was an excellent idea and it works. It really works. But, first of all, Claire needs to stop talking about Lucas Weber and Devin Butler. If you had a race where you and one of them or both of them were constantly battling each other, or there was a stage in the race where you two were neck and neck fighting for P6, fighting for P7, in certain scenarios fighting for the win, by all means, ask 50 questions about Devin Butler and Lucas Weber. But there are 17 other drivers on the grid except myself, Lucas Weber and Devin Butler. And I feel every time I go to an interview, you're asking me questions about Devin Butler and Lucas Weber. There's no need for the other 17 drivers on the grid. I'm currently in a battle in my career mode with the 2 Racing Point cars. Yes, one of them is Lucas Weber, but the other one is Sergio Perez. And where I am at now, Sergio Perez has been a bigger thorn at my side than Lucas Weber. Why do I keep getting questions about Lucas Weber? Why don't you ask me a few questions about Checo? I love Sergio Perez, but there's no questions about Sergio Perez. Secondly, your teammate. There's like 2 questions that Claire asks you about your teammate, and then you just they completely forget about him until you beat him in the rivalry or he beats you. That's about that. So that needs to be fixed about Claire. Now, I've talked about Claire. Oh boy. Okay guys, Lucas Weber in general. Now I know I just said Lucas Weber in my career mode has not been the thorn on my side, Sergio Perez has. But guys, I've watched other YouTubers' career mode videos, and even in certain instances you guys can agree with me on this with other scenarios in my career mode. Lucas Weber, your F2 teammate, is one of the most OP AI in this game. Now guys, I know you guys can't see me, I don't have a face cam, but I'm literally with my hands against my forehead, just wondering what the hell does Lucas Weber eat for breakfast? Because that guy is the most OP AI I've ever seen in a video game. Seriously, in a racing video game. Let me put it that way, in a racing video game. Guys, I'm thinking about, once again, Tiamat Mardu in his career mode, and even Arava, guys. I'm also a big Arava fan. Arava, Lucas Weber, that guy in Season 1 took a Williams to be almost one of the best cars on the grid. Now he's at Renault, and in Season 2 of Arava's season, he took the Renault from being the worst car on the grid to the halfway point of the season, the Renault being the best car on the grid. That is OP, and in the races, that guy can set 4-5 laps after one another, being the fastest lap. And then it's the final 5 laps of the race. The tires are going off. It's just, it's a little bit unrealistic. Now, I understand you have drivers like Lewis Hamilton who can pull that off, but not every single freaking race. Seriously, Lucas Weber needs to be nerfed a bit. Devin Butler on the other side needs to be buffed. That guy is like, with all due respect, he's like the Robert Kubica AI. He's just so weak. Why? Why is he so weak? And he's supposed to be your biggest rival, and to put a little bit of context to the story mode in the beginning of the career, let Devin Butler be a little bit stronger, because he's actually supposed to be a bigger rival than your ex-teammate. Okay, I'm done ranting about those two. Guys, final problem I have with career mode. Oh boy, this is not actually an easy one to talk about, but guys, in my opinion, this is the best F1 game that Codemasters has ever produced. I'm honest about that. Best F1 game Cody's has ever made. Props to you guys, Codemasters. But guys, oh boy, the game in general, the career mode, stuff just happens too fast. The progression of upgrades happen too fast. Your rookie to veteran status bar is, you after one season you're basically a veteran, and your value to the team, your team rep, guys, it is completely unrealistic. You can't become, especially with this year's game, you graduating from F2. You can't be a veteran come the end of season 1. You can't. You can't. That bar, in my opinion, needs to take at least 5 seasons to be full. That means you need to win at least about 1 to 2 world championships to be a veteran, in my opinion. You can't be a Lewis Hamilton class driver at the end of season 1 just because you had a good rookie season. No. Your value to the team, that reputation bar, is the most unrealistic thing. Just because you don't achieve a contract goal, you could have won a Grand Prix. You could have won a race from starting freaking P12, but because your contract goal was, please score 32 Drivers' Championship points, and the previous race you had an absolute atrocity, you didn't score points, so you won the next Grand Prix, you take home the full 26 points, you even got the fastest lap, but because your contract goal was not met, you decrease in reputation. What? How does that work? That does not work. No. Just no. No. Okay? But guys, now let's end off this video with all the positives. Yay. Okay, guys, like I said, best F1 game ever from Codemasters. Guys, I've played F1 2010, F1 2011, F1 2012, not F1 2013 and 14 and 16. So 13 to 16 I did not play, but I've played since F1 2017. Guys, this has been an absolutely fantastic game for me. I got onto the hype train, I think, more than most people. And I think, by far, this is the best F1 game Codemasters has ever produced. First of all, the induction of F2 cars. Hallelujah, we've been asking for it for so long, the community. Props to you, Codemasters. And it's even fantastic that they're trying to add the 2019 F2 cars. That is even better. Fantastic. Now, vintage cars, we need a little bit more of a variety, but still, the vintage F1 cars every year on the game just get better. Now, guys, multiplayer, like I told you guys, there's not much I can say about it because I don't play it enough. But guys, career mode. We've got driver transfers! Hallelujah! That is one of the best things that has ever happened to this game, guys. It shuffles up the grid. It makes the grid just so much more interesting. Just a personal thing. I'm never going to be able to remember which drivers are where, so you guys are going to laugh at me in the future career mode videos with me just completely getting the drivers wrong a lot of times. But you know what? You guys like me, you guys love me, so please just bear with me. Bear with me. Even though I said the upgrade speed of the cars, the cars can be upgraded too quickly, I still feel Codemasters have made a step in the right direction when it comes to the upgrades of the career mode cars. The cars actually feel different when the upgrades go on the cars, which is fantastic. That is something that has been hit on the spot. And you can actually take, for instance, myself. Guys, I'm a McLaren fan. I have been a McLaren fan my whole life. The McLaren car being bad, if you really want to go get into the McLaren and make that car a top tier car, and if you want to battle against them, swap teams and just go battle them in the career mode. That is absolutely excellent. Excellent. And guys, the tracks this year on career mode. Nobody who has done a review video has said this. This is my personal thing. Guys, the tracks look bloody amazing. Guys, the Gilles Villeneuve circuit in Canada, the Montreal, the Canadian Grand Prix, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, Monaco. Guys, some of the tracks on this game, Bahrain, they look freaking fantastic. And I love that. You look forward to going to a track now by just going to look at the track. I love the way that Codemasters have optimized this new way they've put the tracks in the game. The tracks just look flippin' fantastic. And for the 2020 game, I can't wait for the 2 new tracks that are going to be added to the game. The Netherlands Grand Prix and the Vietnam Grand Prix. I can't wait. I can't wait even a little. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Guys, the graphics of the game, it has been updated so much, and even with me being on PS4, only being able to run at 60 frames per second, this game looks absolutely stunning. It's like my girlfriend when we went to the Valentine's dance beginning last year. She had a dress not like all the other girls, but it was something unique, and she looked absolutely breathtaking. That's how I feel about this year's game compared to F1 2018. This game looks absolutely fantastic. Guys, that is all I have to say for this review video. This game, as a review for me, if I have to give the game, let's say a ranking out of 10. So, F1 2017, I would have given about a 6.5 out of 10. F1 2018 to me was a massive step in the right direction, and I feel F1 2018 would have gotten close to an 8. I would say a 7.5. If for certain aspects of the F1 2018 game, I would have given it an 8 out of 10. But guys, F1 2019, even though there's a lot of places that can still be, a lot of things that can still be bettered, and a lot of places where improvements can be implemented, this year's game, guys, I'm gonna go bold and I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. The vintage cars, awesome. F2 cars, awesome. So many improvements to career mode, so many improvements to the car's handling, so many improvements to the conditions, improvements to the graphics, improvements to so many things. And Codemasters, I thank you for giving us such an excellent game, and you guys get just way too much hate for the amount of effort you guys put into F1 2019. Hashtag props to Codemasters. But guys, that has basically been the video. Yeah. Now quickly to talk about the cars that I drove. The 2008 McLaren, the 2006 Renault, the 1979 Ferrari, the 1976 McLaren, and the 2009 Braun GP car. Personally, the 2009 Braun GP car is by far my favorite, no, not by far. It's definitely my second favorite F1 car in history. That car is just, guys, go watch the F1 2009 season. Seriously, I'm not even going to talk about it. Just go do it. It's bloody fantastic. Really, it is. Seriously. And my favorite F1 car in history has got to be the 2003 BMW Williams. It's not a championship winning car. There's nothing too special. That was just an epic car in my opinion, and it's a car to me that stands out. And yeah, that's definitely something that I look forward to driving to in the future and putting on the channel for you guys. You guys know it's in my new intro. I love that car. It's a V10. It screams amazingly, and it's just a fantastic car to drive. But of the 5 cars that I drove today, coming in at number 5, I'm going to put the car on screen at this very moment. The 1979 Ferrari, an extremely hard car to drive, but it's an experience like none other. Not that it's a bad car to drive or I didn't enjoy it, but of the 5, it has got to come in at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to give it to my role model's car, the 2006 Renault R26. Guys, that car to me is a fantastic car to drive. And because of nostalgia, because it is my role model in life's second world championship winning car, I've got a soft spot for that Renault. The first ever V8 F1 car, well, the first ever V8, well, not the first ever V8 car, but the first car that started the V8 era. So definitely he's in 4th. 3rd place, I'm going to give it to the 1976 McLaren, the James Hunt car. That car was just also very hard to drive, but very fun. And I love the fact that thing had a 6-speed gearbox. It's a lot more interactive than the 5-speed in the Ferrari. 2nd place, it's got to be the 2008 McLaren, Lewis Hamilton's first ever championship winning car. Beautiful car to drive, and that car surprised me with the amount of downforce. Finally, my 2nd favorite car in all of F1 history, I've got to give it to the Brawn GP. Just an absolute fantastic car, nothing more to say. But guys, that has been this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my summer break video. You guys are going to get a few dirt videos in a row now, and then we're going to jump back onto F1 2019 and continue our first ever season and see what we can do with our Haas car. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, hit the subscribe, don't forget to ding the bell, and just, man, share this video with your friends to get the channel growing, guys. We're going to hit 100 subscribers before the end of September. I know it. I love you guys for being my fans, and guys, hope you guys enjoyed. See y'all for the next video. Cheers!